Welcome to the future of OnlyFans agencies. In this video today, I'm going to unveil the secrets of my $1 million per month fulfillment model that I use at my agency. And I call this the ABC system. Now, maybe you've heard me talk about this in one of my last videos, but this has been the game changer for my agency, and every agency that I've worked with and we've applied this system to, it's also done the same thing, right? Now, this is crazy. You've never heard of anything like this before. You've never seen anything like this before, because I created this system and we've only rolled this out to internal partners, right? And so to give you a brief overview of what this does, the ABC system allows me to vertically scale the high quality models in the most profitable and efficient way within my agency, while also allowing me to horizontally scale the B and C team creators in a most productized, standardized way, which pretty much just allows for models to either work their way up to joining the A team or stay where they are, right? Now, this is quite literally the future of OnlyFans management. And so I'm going to walk you through this entire fulfillment model today to show you exactly how you can implement this into your agency to reduce the operational drag and scale efficiently, right? The whole point is, how do we make an OnlyFans management agency simple, right? Everyone overcomplicates this business model. The majority of people I speak to have no idea what they're doing. And I went out to find the most simple, efficient way to actually scale this business. And this is what I came up with, right? Now, how I actually got to this point is, when I started my agency a few years ago, I quickly found success, right? This is probably the easiest business model in the world to get to, 10 grand, 20 grand a month in, let's be real. Now, I quickly found success when I first started, and I was vertically scaling, and I believed that vertical scaling was the way. I pushed it on my YouTube channel. You can go back to my old videos. I preach vertical scaling, and I scaled one model from like 0 to 50 grand a month in like the first 6 months, right? Then I took on another model and achieved like somewhat similar results for like, 20K a month, something like that. And the thing is, I felt like this was insane, this was amazing, like I was making all this money, this was great, this was so like easy, but I didn't realize I was actually building my business on shaky ground. And then there was the issue of the business itself, where it got to a point where even though at the start it felt easy and nice, all of a sudden it becomes repetitive. I'm doing the same things. I'm a slave to my main model that's bringing in the majority of income. And eventually I worked with that model for 2 years, scaled her up to about 230 grand a month. My agency at that time was doing about 260K a month total. And, we had like 5 creators, right? So we had a couple making, less than 10K a month, one making just above 10K a month, and then our main creator, which is making like 230 grand a month, right? All good. Relationship was good with her. I never thought she would ever leave, but she did, right? So she left for no real reason. She's not making that type of money anymore, but she left for no real reason. It was kind of weird. So my business had pretty much been wiped out overnight, and I was like, holy shit, this is not the way to scale this business. So what I did, I made it my mission to go and figure out, okay, how can I run this business in a better way? Because my risk exposure at that time was like 90%, right? And so you might be watching this video right now and you might have a creator, you might be in the similar situation that I was in like 3 years ago, where you've got that one model or 2 models, or maybe you've got 5 or 10 models, but 1 or 2 of them are bringing in the majority of the income. And so if anything happens to them, if they leave, if they get poached by a better agency, if anything happens, you're in the bin overnight and your business is gone. And so I was like, right, how can I go out there and decrease my risk exposure? And now originally I thought the answer is to I just need to horizontally scale, right? I thought that was the answer, but it wasn't. I spoke to a bunch of agencies, friends of mine that were horizontally scaled, doing 500K, a mil, 2 mil, 3 mil a month. And I realized their profit margins were absolutely dog shit, and they were pretty much just a glorified chatting agency. And what I mean by that is that they were signing tons of models, low quality models, and just doing the chatting for them and taking like 20 to 30%. And they all said to me, if you horizontally scale, you can't take 50% because you can't, you can't efficiently like focus on traffic and this and that. It's too difficult to run traffic and content and this and that for like 100 models. So you just pretty much have to chat for them and take like a lower percentage. And I was like, fuck that. That doesn't sound like something I want to do. Like, I want to take 50% and deliver a really good service, and not just do the chatting, but also, do everything else, right? And bring the traffic and the promotion and stuff like that. So it's like, there has to be a better way. Then I went and spoke to a bunch of agencies like myself who were vertically scaled and saw what they were doing. And then eventually I decided, why don't we just merge the two, right? I learned this principle in chemistry, alloying. Why didn't I just combine the 2 things and still take 50%, but just combine them? And I did that, and it didn't really work because it was difficult, and I was running into issues, signing more creators and then having to deliver. We were just you know, bottleneck, and we'd be like, okay, we're fucked. The business is like too constrained. Like there's nothing we can really do because, you know, now we've got 40 creators and we can't deliver, and then they leave. And I was like, wait, this is a nightmare. So like, what is the solution to this? And then I had my Albert Einstein moment where for months on months on months, I was having dreams about this thing. Like it was crazy. And eventually I used to sit down and just try and problem solve and think critically. And then I finally found the solution and built this system, and then applied it to my agency, and it worked. And then I rolled it out to our internal partners, and it worked for them also. And I was like, holy shit, this is insane. And today I am gonna walk you through that, right? Because the last thing you wanna be doing is going all in on one client and putting all your effort and resources into it while being massively overexposed to the potential risk of her leaving when she plateaus, which is inevitable because every creator has a natural plateau, and now you're unemployed again, right? And then secondly, you do not want to be focusing all your time and energy into fulfillment and service delivery for low quality models, wasting your time but overworking yourself, being a slave to your models, while also getting massive imposter syndrome when they don't get results, or they don't respect you or listen to you, or they're lazy, or maybe all of the above, and you just run around like a headless chicken looking for quick fix solutions, and then you start to turn to black hat marketing, and then you start to get scammed, and then it's just a shit show, right? Then you're hunting for all the next shiny objects and this and that, and it never works, and you just end up repeating yourself. You build something up, you maybe get 20 grand a month, and you destroy it all, and you're back at zero. Then you build it up because you're in so much pain, then you destroy it, and you build it up, and you destroy it, and you build it, and you just go through this oscillatory, you're in this oscillatory place, right? So let's get into the flow of this system, right? So firstly, we got the onboarding process. So with your onboarding process, what you're going to want to do if you want to implement the ABC system is you're going to need the initial contact and assessment phase, step one, right? The initial contact, which is like the sales call, and then the initial assessment, which is going to be like evaluating specific criteria, like for example, work ethic, content quality, engagement potential. And then also the tools you're going to use as well in that initial assessment is going to be like evaluation forms and stuff to analyze the initial content performance metrics, like not just analytics or wherever you want to use, right? Then step two, you're going to need an agreement, right? So I'd ideally automate this so it looks more professional. So for example, on our sales call, we will send the agreement, the creator will sign it, and that will trigger an automation to automatically onboard them, get their payment details, etc. And that's where, again, we're going to prepare the agreement based on the details from the sales goal. So you're going to need different agreements because, again, there's different tiers, right? A, B, and C. And again, we'll get into all of this, but just stick with me for now, okay? So we're going to need like different agreements depending on the type of creator based on this initial assessment that we can do on the sales call. Then we're going to send the agreement, right? Wait for the signature and the payment details, and then we go into step three, which is the initial communication setup. So this is where you're going to want to create a communication channel with them. I would recommend WhatsApp or Google Chat. I wouldn't recommend anything else. We've tried everything. We've tried Agency Flow, we've tried Slack, we've tried Discord, Telegram. WhatsApp or Google Chat is going to be the best. Now, don't do both, right? You know, you want to make this as easy as possible to scale, so just pick one or the other. Google Chat is more efficient for scale. WhatsApp is good at the start, but eventually, like, just pick what. If you haven't got anything right now, I'd recommend Google Chat, okay? But WhatsApp is more native, but Google Chat is way easier to scale when you've got 140 plus models like I've got. So Google Chat's going to be the best option for there, but again, we did use WhatsApp for a while. It's just difficult to switch out to WhatsApp once you've started using it. So again, either was fine. Google Chat's better because you can build automations and stuff, and it's just better. Now, then you're going to collect the necessary details, right? So, you know, Google Forms, Typeform, wherever you want to do, wherever your specific onboarding process is, you can kind of do that. You know, you want to get their account logins, chatting information, personal preferences, etc. So then step 4 is resource distribution, right? So this is where we're going to provide access to resources, you know, give them the Google Drive folder and all the other things we do with a video explaining like what this is. Give them everything that they pretty much like need in terms of that, right? So like wherever it is for you, it could be different, but you know, we give them a Google Drive folder and a few other things. And then we have our evaluation period, right? So our evaluation period is the first 15 days. So, you know, daily check-ins, performance tracking, feedback revision, etc. for the first 15 days, just to make sure, you know, what the creator is doing. And this is happening while this is going on, right? So this evaluation period is happening as we're about to make the decision. So as soon as we make the decision to what team they're going in, the evaluation period begins, right? So think of this part as like just the initial standardized onboarding. So like this will be the same regardless of the creator, right? So, you know, the initial asset, like the sales call, to the agreement, to them signing the agreement, to just setting up the communications, to you know, giving them the basic resource like the Google Drive, and then the evaluation period begins once they've got the basic setup, and that's when we also decide, based on this data we've got up here, we're deciding, okay, what team are they going to go in? And so for a basic example of what that would look like, it can be more complex than just this, but this is an easy way to look at it. Is the creator earning over 30 grand a month? If yes, A team. If not, then is the creator earning between 10 to 30k a month? If yes, B team. If not, C team, right? And again, yours is going to be different, right? Your C team, B team, A team is going to be completely different depending on where you're at. You might not even have an A, B, and C team. You might just have an A and a B team. Depends what you want to do, where you're at, how you want to apply this system into your business. Don't just copy what's worked for me, right? Because that's not how you think strategically as a business owner, right? You have to become an operator. So evaluation period begins, right? As soon as we decide this placement decision, the evaluation period begins, and now a different onboarding process is triggered. So just continuing. So this is like the standardized onboarding process, right? But then to finish the onboarding process, it depends what team they're going to be assigned to, right? So we can't have like a standardized onboarding process for the entire thing, only up to this point here, which is step 4. After that, it needs to be tailored to each individual team, depending on what they get assigned to, okay? So this is the standardized steps for all teams, and now we are going to go into the customized onboarding steps based on the team placement. So for all teams first, right, we're going to do an initial content performance review. So looking at what they're doing, see, you know, if we made a good decision, etc. Then we are going to, like, if, let's just say they get assigned to A team, we're going to do a detailed account audit. So we're going to look at, you know, identifying top performing content, see what's working, see what strategies we can come up with. Our creative director who's, you know, worked with Mr. Beast and all these crazy people are going to come up with a custom content strategy. Then we are gonna, you know, organize the batch creation of high quality videos, maybe send out send out a videographer to film with them, and so on and so forth. And obviously they have very high level support. So like our A team get to speak directly with me, our entire team, they get like really hands-on support calls whenever they want. And it's very, very tailored and personalized, whereas B team and C team don't get that. B team and C team don't even get to speak to me, right? So let's just say, you know, B team next, right? So to finish the B team onboarding process, this is going to be creators making between 10 and 30k per month. They're going to get access. They're going to get more of a proven content blueprint. So we, over the last 4 years, have figured out like the science of content to where we can productize it and just literally give it to creators and be like, boom, just do this and this is going to work. Which is why we can guarantee every creator, regardless if they're an A, B, or C team, a minimum of 2,000 new paying subscribers every single month, right? Like we can guarantee that because we've figured out a ton of different vertical blueprints that we've built out, that we've productized, that we can literally just plug and play into a creator and they just start printing money effectively, as long as they do the things, right? And so like a C team creator can easily move into the A team slot within 3 to 4 months if they do the things. Same as the B team can move into A team in a month sometimes, right? So, you know, we've proven a process when it comes to delivering traffic for these types of people. And so that's why we're able to have, you know, such strong offers, such good service delivery, and able to, we've productized this. So we're not sitting there coming up with fucking trends every day and doing all this shit, coming up with custom content ideas every day. No, we've already got something that works across hundreds of creators and all our internal partners as well. And we just rinse and repeat that process. And it's evergreen, so it's never going to die, which is a good thing. So A team, like another thing to mention as well is like A team, we're doing like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and a couple other things, whereas B team, we're mainly only focusing on TikTok and Instagram. Sometimes there's exceptions, and C team is straight just TikTok and Instagram. And this could change, right? It could be YouTube and Instagram in the next year, the way that TikTok's going. It really depends. So that being said, to continue with the B team onboarding process, they're going to get access to assistant creative director. So we have 2 main creative directors and then 3 assistant creative directors currently. And we are looking for more creative directors. So if you want to apply, like, please message me. But yeah, assistant creative director, we monitor their performance. So more basic than A team, for example, but we do monitor their performance. Like we have like a tracking a tracking sort of software that we built ourselves, that tracks like everything that we need, and it's all automated, so we can just simply look at the data and reports, and it's really good, so we can see what verticals are performing, what's not. Then we have obviously like the production planning, post-production workflow, so get like the batch creation, how we're going to batch create, what days we're going to batch create on, how much content we need, how many posts are we going to be aiming for, so on and so forth. And then obviously the tracking and optimization, which I just showed you, is automatically done. And then C team is pretty much exactly the same, just without the assistant creative director, right? So that is that. Now, then we've got the chat and allocation. So now we're looking at like, right, the chatting can be different. So it depends on obviously a multitude of different things, but now we're going to be looking at like the chat and allocation of things. So what that looks like is going to be, for A team, for example, right? For A team, we're looking at the account's obviously going to be more busy. The content they're doing, like we need to have a good team. So for A team, because they're making over 30 grand a month, we have one chatting team per client, so they have their own custom chatting team. There's only 4 chatters on their account, so they do alternating shifts, right? So they do 12 hours on, 12 hours on. So 4 chatters, so they're doing 12, day off. The other 2 chatters are coming on 12, day off. Other chatters are coming on 12, day off, right? So they're doing alternating shifts, just because they get 3 to 4 days off a week, and we can have 4 chatters that runs an entire team, and they just do big 12-hour shifts, right? So coverage, 24 hours, and that's like how we allocate the A team. B team, again, you're going to want like 2 to 3 clients, 2 to 3 clients per team. So a team of chatters for us is 4 people, right? So with the B team, because there's less traffic, you can have like 2 to 3. That's what we do. You can do more, obviously, but we just want to make our service good. Chatters per account 4, coverage 24 hours. And then C team, you can train your chatters on C team, so it's really effective. Again, 4 chatters per account, and you can have those 4 chatters across 5 accounts on C team, right? And coverage, again, 24 hours. So that's what we do. KPIs we look at for the chatting teams is going to be stuff like response time, English quality, time to sale, average earning per shift, average spend per fan, subscriber retention, subscriber conversion rate, and a bunch of stuff like that, right? And that's like pretty much the flow of this section of like finishing this sort of like system, right? And like, again, content delivery is going to be different depending on where they're at as well, right? So for example, what I mean by that is, again, like B team, A team, and C teams all going to have different levels of delivery. So just a quick overview, right? A team is highly tailored. B team is like productized with a level of consulting, and C team is completely productized. So C team will literally like do this, go run the play, and we're not involved, right? We're literally not involved. We take 50% of all these creators regardless, but C team, we're pretty much not involved. We're just like, you go do the thing, kind of prove to us that you can do it. Once you start getting momentum, because again, if they do the things, we can guarantee a minimum of 2,000 paid subs in that month. They will then, like, if they can actually show us that it's worth it, our time, we'll then pull them into our B team to be eventually nurtured to go into the A team with, again, the best quality of service, right? So performance monitoring and reviews, right? We're generating performance reports using tracking sheets, monitoring KPIs, stuff like that. Then we've got our flexible team adjustments, right? So again, this is all going on within the first 15-day period, the evaluation period, to decide if we made the right decision. Then this is where we have these flexible team adjustments, right? So this is where we might upgrade or downgrade someone. So after the first 15 days, right, can they upgrade? Okay, if they can upgrade, then we just loop back, to the team placement decision. So, okay, now they're making over 30 grand a month, for example. So now let's just put them on A team, right? So if within 15 days, they just start doing well, which happens quite often where, you'll have a B team creator and maybe she's on the cusp, like she's making 25 grand a month, and she implements our content verticals, and within those 15 days, she's easily on to do a 30 grand a month. We will obviously review that and be like, okay, perfect, loop back, is the creator earning over 30 grand a month? She will be, so yes, let's put her on A team, and then we'll do this, we'll conduct this process, right? Or, let's just say a creator comes on A team and they're making 30 grand a month, but they just don't do anything we tell them. They're not listening to us. They're not cooperating. They AFK. Then we're going to be like, okay, then let's just downgrade, right? So then we'll downgrade them, and then they're going to get ongoing support when they downgraded, and they're going to get like regular check-ins, you know, adjusted content strategies, provide feedback, etc. And our relationship manager is going to take care of most of that. So like that's pretty much the flow of what the ABC system really is, and like just the overview of the content delivery system. This is the key part to it. Like this is the key part. Like this part right here, like how they get service delivery, is going to be the most key part. And so like for a team, again, the system is the basic overview of the system, right? Is obviously the input is the custom tailored content strategy, which no one else gets. Then obviously the process is the filming, the professional editing, the creative collaboration from creative directors, etc., like world-class creative directors. And then obviously the output is like obviously the short form and the long form videos that will go viral, and then obviously, you know, feedback in the form of metrics. And yeah, that's pretty much what it is, right? And that allows us to just pop off. So yeah, this is like the basic overview of what the ABC system is. I would recommend you plug and play this into your agency for more efficiency, so you can just focus on acquisition. That's kind of the point, right? Once you've got a productized delivery where you don't have to worry about coming up with trends, coming up with custom content, and everything's done for you and automated, like I'm decentralized, right? That's the point. The point is to decentralize yourself from the business, whereas I'm completely decentralized and removed from my agency to the point where it all runs for me, right? It all runs for me. I just look at pretty much profit and loss sheets, and I get reports from our executives, but I'm pretty much entirely decentralized. I'm not in the day-to-day coming up with content ideas and doing this and that and trying to figure out, oh, what do we do for traffic? My model's gonna leave. I'm not doing any of that because I have pretty much productized my service delivery to where this all runs for me on just, it's all automated for me, right? And when I say automations, I don't mean like automated in the sense of like robots do it, but it's all automated with people that run this smoothly for me. So that way I can focus on higher leverage stuff, and you know, I don't have to deal with the stress of, you know, the day-to-day of trying to come up with content ideas. So if you can do this and replicate this, then you're going to be golden, because then you can focus on acquisition, which is where I spend the majority of my time on at my agency, creating new ads, creating new funnels, coming up with new marketing angles, connecting with people, you know, forming more strategic partnerships with influencers to bring models in. Like I'm doing all these bigger things because my agency is productized to where delivery is guaranteed. Like we've built this system to where we can guarantee a minimum of 2,000 paid subs every single month for the creators we work with. And so it's just easy for me. I'm just like, right, let's just sign more creators because this works like clockwork. So let's just sign more creators, because the more creators we sign, the more money they make. If I go and sign 20 creators right now, I'm good because this runs like butter, right? Like I could go and sign 20 creators right now. Maybe they're all making $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. Well, they'll all be in C team. We're going to give them the play. It's up to them whether they do it. Maybe 2 of them decide they want to do it. Maybe, 8 of them kind of half-arse it, but we still make money on them anyway. You know, even if it's only $500 a month, $1,000, it doesn't matter. We're still making money. And some will churn after a month or 2, but it doesn't matter because we'll just replace them, right? So the point is we can just go hard on acquisition, and just the more models we sign, the more money we make. And then we pretty much pick the gems out and scale them and vertically scale them, right? That's kind of the point. So you can pretty much allows you to horizontally and vertically scale. So yeah, if you found this helpful, you want to see other videos like this, then yeah, just drop like a comment, drop a like, share with any agency friends. That would be sick. And if you want to join my free community down below, I'll leave a link in the description. And yeah, we do weekly calls in there for free. There's an entire free course in there. It's pretty good. So yeah, I'd advise you to go and join that and plug and play this ABC system into your agency. Other than that, I will see you at the top. Peace.